Why are we saying that they may have lied yesterday in their presentation and misled senators intentionally, which would get you in a lot of trouble legally in a real court of law? Let me play this. This is Eric Swalwell yesterday.
This was not just any old protest. President Trump was inciting something historic. The cavalry was coming, and he was organized. In her post, Ms. Lawrence tagged Kylie Kremer, the organizer of the event, whose post we just saw President Trump retweet. Again, you see, this is all connected.
In the tweet that they showed up on the screen, she has the blue check from Twitter. So you speak with some kind of authority, and maybe you're held to a higher bar on Twitter for what kind of statements you put out. Well, guess what? That blue mark isn't on her Twitter account. Does not have a verified account. So who on the House Managers team falsified the evidence presented to those U.S. senators?
I think we have clear and unmistakable evidence of possible prosecutorial misconduct, which deprives the defendant in this particular case, former President Trump, of due process within the meaning of the law.
But it gets even worse because they misinterpreted what she said. They highlighted that we are bringing the cavalry, Mr. President, and that President Trump retweeted that. I want you to understand that the cavalry that she's referencing is the religious cavalry, not cavalry.
What Ms. Lawrence was drawing attention to was that they were leading a Bible study and a prayer vigil. She was not even on the ellipse, nor was she at the Capitol. When all this was taking place, she was in her hotel room with a pastor from the town where I live, Mount Juliet, Tennessee, Greg Locke, who's part of the Global Vision Bible Church. She was in a hotel doing what she had called and what she had tweeted the president they were going to do, and that is praying for God to intervene in the affairs of America. They were praying for President Trump. They were praying for the nation. They more than likely were praying for the members of Congress.
She tweeted, and she doesn't have a verification mark. I've never been verified on Twitter, so why did my tweet used in the fact-free impeachment include a verification badge? I'm assuming Democrats faked it. I mean, someone had to put that there on their team to make it seem like she was speaking to more people. She had more followers. She had more of a movement behind her.
You may not have to follow, the procedures of a courtroom, but you have to speak the truth. You have to have some honor and some integrity in the things you're saying. And that, along with their ability to be embarrassed, seems to be totally lost on this group.
Yesterday, Than, I thought was shocking as well, was that out of the mouth of Congressman Jamie Raskin, the lead House manager, was that the First Amendment does not apply. Now, first of all, in the impeachment trial, you can use whatever defense you want because we've talked about it's not a normal trial. So if you want to bring up the First Amendment and protecting that, you certainly have the right to try and convince the senators of that. So for him to declare it null and void, as he did yesterday, to me was shocking.
This is what I would ask Manager Raskin. Does your First Amendment right disappear after you leave office? Because if so, you better be ready. And, Jordan, Article 1, Section 3, Clause 7 that we've talked about a lot makes it very clear that when an official leaves office, they are subject to criminal prosecution, still liable to the laws of the land. Jordan, if you're still going to be liable to the laws of the land, the fundamental rights and protections under the law, they must apply as well. Otherwise, you're subject to prosecution without the fundamental rights. That just can't be the case.
They have to build that bar to act as if it's just a given that it's a distraction because the high crimes and misdemeanors, they have to prove those high crimes and misdemeanors. I think they failed because yesterday they kept going and going with video and splicing and fake tweets and tweets that weren't read correctly and misusing evidence and never really getting to the point about what did the president do that actually violated their article of impeachment. And then this attack on the First Amendment to me is it's got to be scary to a lot of Americans.